On top of all that,
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome, everybody. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson, with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Man, what a season we've had so far. Tonight's broadcast will feature the Milwaukee Bucks as they go up against the Portland Trail Blazers. For Portland, 9th place is where they are in the conference standings right now, and it's probably a pretty satisfying position to be in at this stage of the season compared to their bottom-of-the-barrel finish a year ago. It has been an interesting ride thus far. Kenny, some teams really improving after a sluggish start.
Yeah.
You make sure you guys get a good warm-up out there. AI, you ready?
For game? Yeah, of course. About to go get warmed up.
No, I mean, are you ready?
Yeah, coach, I'm ready. Wait, for what?
You starting tonight.
I'm starting tonight?
Mm-hmm. You starting tonight.
Wow. Yo, that's hard to believe, man.
Well, you earned it, AI. But you've proven yourself beyond a shadow of doubt that you belong in this league. It's time to take it to the next level.
Man, coach, I don't know what to say. I mean, I've been waiting for this a long time. Thank you. I won't let you down.
Oh, I know you won't. So get out there and shoot around. Proud of you, AI.
Remember, sports fans, if the home team scores more than 100 points instead,
It's Wednesday Night Basketball, live on 2K Sports. Joined in the booth with Greg Anthony and Brent Berry, this is Kevin Harlan. Our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. And, of course, A-Train. And now's the time where he's getting settled during these first few games with the new team.
You know, the trade you were talking about, it's not front-page news, but I really believe that it could pay huge dividends for this team in the future.
And with pregame routines coming to an end, we're just about ready for our tip-off.
Well, guys, another big step for AI. He is being moved into the starting lineup. Now, you could see this coming considering the way he's been playing lately, but he didn't seem fazed by the change in status. He said he'd keep working as hard as he always has. Guys, back to you.
David, thank you for that. AI certainly has earned it.
I just don't see how anyone could be against the change. When AI is on the court, the team plays with so much more energy. I mean, really a no-brainer to make that move.
And a long way to go, Brent, but there are some early signs of a legitimate playoff contender, championship contender.
When we talk about that, Kevin, you and I always are leery of the fact of how many of these guys have had the experience of being scarred up in the early rounds of the playoffs, having to advance or beat a team that's proven before. Right now, there are some teams out there that are raising our eyebrows where we think they're going to have an opportunity. If they keep growing like this and they keep finding this type of consistency, they could be dangerous.
You'd like to think they're going to use those scars, as you say, from the past and motivate them even more.
Well, those are the teams who we believe can always take the next step.
Sure.
It's the young teams that are unproven, even though they're playing well, where we sometimes wonder, will they be able to maintain this kind of focus on playoff?
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. On the court right now for the Trailblazers. At the 2, it's McCollum with Turner at the 3. Nurkic is out there with the Minu, and it's Lillard in at the 1. Here's Lillard. Now there's Antetokounmpo making his last shot. A-Train, the pass to Antetokounmpo. Against Turner. McCollum kicks to Lillard. It's McCollum on the wing. Shot clock at 5. The 11-footer. It's blocked. And good that time.
And, you know, it took them a while to get going, but they finally connected now on their 4th shot of the game.
Bledsoe against Lillard. Now here's Bledsoe. He's guarded closely. Left side, Antetokounmpo. Over Turner. A-Train, the pass to Kumbo. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation. And a chance now to see how teams are faring across the league. Here's the latest edition of the Power Rankings. Take a look at the Timberwolves. They're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And when you look at Milwaukee, they're happy with this latest stretch of games. This is the time of year for optimism. At this point, anything is possible.
Back to Lillard. Fires at the elbow. And it's off the back rim. No good.
I still love the shot selection. The defense wasn't really a factor. You need to be more aggressive guarding the mid-range.
And defensively, this is a nightmare. He's already on a roll.
I love his will, his take-charge attitude, the aggressiveness, all of that showing up here in the first.
McCollum, no good. For Milwaukee, they've got their first 3 shots to go in for them to start off this game. A shot by Middleton, wide open. Knocks down the 3 ball. Middleton's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Lillard against Bledsoe. Ball's knocked loose. Aminu, no one around him. Good. Great play by Lillard to set it up.
And those are signs of increasing versatility of Aminu, looking much more comfortable from long range these days. Well, it's not a secret that the strength of this ball club is in the backcourt. Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum, these are one of the better pairings in the league in terms of their scoring, playmaking, and devastation that they can provide on the offensive end. Unfortunately, it has not gotten them to the point where they've gotten enough complementary players to go as far as they would like in the postseason.
And so it's Bledsoe with it, bringing it up for Milwaukee. Last time against the Trailblazers, they lost in Portland.
Well, I mean, they lost their last matchup with this team, and foul trouble really plagued them throughout the game.
Well, they had a few important guys sitting there on the bench at a time when they really could have used them on the floor. They have to play much more in control here tonight.
So it's the Bucks now. Hanson the pass to A-Train. Back to Henson. Buries it down low. Lillard with it. A 26-point game for him in the win against New York. Fires for 3. And his Antetokounmpo grabs the miss.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the court.
Shots good by Bledsoe.
Bledsoe stays confident even down there in the paint as a point guard, finishing deep that time.
And Lillard kicks to McCollum. Aminu with it. Now guarded by A-Train. Aminu finds Turner. Count that bucket. And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. Who do you think is best at converting off his offhand?
I really do like Mike Conley in Memphis when he gets to, and I love his timing on it, Kevin, that running right-hand hook shot that he shoots from about 8 feet. And one of the reasons I'm so enamored.
Trailblazers trail by 6. Middleton and Giannis are out on the wing. A-Train is out there with Tyler Zeller, and it's Bledsoe in at the point. That's the 5 on the floor for the Bucks. Nurkic in the post. He's against Zeller. Now here's Aminu. Rocket 2. Again the miss by the Trailblazers. And now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second quarter. Bledsoe passes to Antetokounmpo. Shoots over Turner. They grab their own miss. Another shot. And up and in it goes with the lay-in for A-Train. A-Train's got his first basket of the night.
And you figured it was just a matter of time, but Coach finally made the call to move AI into that starting lineup. You get the feeling that this was just an inevitable step in his development.
Greg, you said yourself that he looks ready to lead, and the team feels the same way as they not only view him as a starter, but also as a long-term piece of their franchise. fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him. The Bucks making a switch here. Henson's checked in. The Bucks shooting their third free throw shot of the game. The free throw off from A-Train.
Amazingly, the Bucks, one of the slower teams in the league last season in terms of their pace. And when you're talking about a team with tremendous length and athleticism, you'd think that maybe speed would come along with it and that they'd get out and thrive in transition. Not the case last year.
Turner with it. Now guarded by Bledsoe. Shots good by Turner.
And how about Turner finding the spot using the screen to get open to find the efficient finish?
Bounce pass on Antetokounmpo. A-Train, the pass to Antetokounmpo. With the shot. No good from A-Train. And the Bucks, still a top 10 offense last season, got to the line in bunches.
Got to the line, got into the interior, got into the paint, but their outside shooting is still a concern, Kevin. When you're down a lot of points and you need to stretch out the defense to come back in games, it's not something that they could do last year. So maybe looking to pick up a few guys on their roster to help expand the three-point shooting game. But he's like a carpenter out there, great floor awareness, zipping the ball over to his teammates with ease.
Curry kicks to Lillard. Passes it to Aminu. Good. Great play by Lillard to set it up. Aminu's got 6 points.
And this is where he can hurt you most offensively. Aminu's well schooled in the catch-and-shoot game.
Now the pass to Antetokounmpo. And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
And how about that? What a sensational finish.
You got to be able to get some hang time to do that one. So timeout called here, the first for Portland. Eric Bledsoe, Greg, one of the league's best slashers.
Yeah, he gets to the rim with regularity, and he finishes at a high rate, lives at the line. He is a nightmare in the open court. A moment here to see some numbers for A-Train. Just an incredible month of basketball. 3rd in shooting percentage, 5th in blocks, and he's right up there in the top 20 in scoring. Certainly a force to be reckoned with offensively.
And it's a strong accomplishment. 3rd best in field goal percentage. He just refuses to take bad shots. That's why his coaches love him. Turner against Antetokounmpo. Down low. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. The Milwaukee Bucks looking to move the needle with their new head coaching hire. If you're in that role, Brent, what changes do you make?
Well, I think the team just needs to find a little bit better cohesion on the defensive end. They tried a lot of things schematically last year that I don't think they were as connected as they needed to be there. And as far as personnel goes, they're really lacking some consistency from outside on the perimeter, their perimeter shooting. I know Tony Snell had a decent year, but there's not a lot of three-point attack from the Milwaukee Bucks. It makes it tough for them to score.
Out of bounds, Portland takes possession.
Standing out of bounds.
Here's what Portland has lined up on their schedule. On Friday, they'll take on Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. Then on Sunday, they'll be playing against Lou Williams and the Los Angeles Clippers.
And the matchup against the Nuggets, it's going to be a battle for this group. You get the feeling they'll need to be at their sharpest if they want to come away with a victory. And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backcourt.
You know, he didn't score the ball much in the first quarter, but he has been really, really solid during the second quarter. I expect a big game from him now.
Lillard against Bledsoe. The 10-foot. Rebound, Milwaukee. Fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
And I know the defense wasn't great, but yet and still, their ability to stay composed was impressive.
Well, it led to a big scoring effort, taking advantage of every weakness. So any possession the defense wasn't aggressive on, they were on the offensive end.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Curry dishes to Nurkic. Over onto the Kumbo. Portland no good that time either. Bucks leading by 12. From deep, and another three for Milwaukee.
The tenacity, the attention to detail, it's why these guys are in complete control.
And it seems like they've been at it on both ends tonight. Tremendous all-around play from them. Has them up quite a bit here.
Here's Curry. Good. Great play by Lillard to set it up. Lillard's got 3 assists in the game. Timeout called the Bucks. So many teams switching the pick and roll, and we can see it defensively what it does. How are offenses countering that?
I think the offense is what they're doing, Kevin, is being selective as to who it is.
So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided.
Thank you.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be... And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. You look at Antetokounmpo in this one. He's been everywhere.
And let's see what the defense counters with to try and control him here in the second half.
Well, he has been dominant as we expected coming into this one. Skilled and relentless.
On the floor for Portland. Lillard the 1 with McCollum at the 2. Al Farouk Amino is out there with Evan Turner, and it's Nurkic in at the center position. Here's Antetokounmpo on target from 13 feet. Antetokounmpo's got 11 points.
Giannis so good in the paint, steps a little bit outside to the mid-range, and has the size and skill to get it done.
Aminu with it, out guarded by A-Train. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Chris Middleton.
How'd you do that?
That's his first foul. Here's Turner. That shot misses. So Milwaukee will take it the other way.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
A-Train. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Middleton right now staying aware of where his teammates are and hitting them when they're open.
And it's Lillard with the ball. He brings it up for the Portland Trailblazers, trailing by 19. McCollum with the ball, now guarded by Antetokounmpo.
Don't do it.
Shot from free throw range. Misses off the left iron.
You can see how clued in the defense is to take away those mid-range shots and challenge. Solid at getting a hand up in the face of the scorer.
And what an alley-oop. Those two read each other so well.
It's a play I'm sure they love to run. And Lillard kicks to McCollum. Pass to Aminu. Pass to Lillard. Nurkic finds McCollum. Just 5 to shoot. Lillard misses.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Middleton the pass to A-Train. And he uses both hands to jam it in.
And whatever the adjustments at halftime, they are looking really good right now.
Yeah, scratching my head trying to remember the last time that they missed. They're on an absolute tear.
Turner against Antetokounmpo. And Turner kicks to Aminu. Pass to Lillard. Looking to end the run. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Shots good by Bledsoe.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Now a timeout called by Portland.
A lottery pick back in 2012, John Henson has pretty much flown under the radar except around the rim. People understand just how effective he can be there. A quality defender and rim protector.
For Portland, they've gone only 1 of 5 from the field since halftime. Very slow start offensively. Lillard, the pass to Nurkic. McCollum against Middleton. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers. Henson not a floor spacer. Offensively, you'll find him around the rim.
He's a pretty good finisher in there, but he doesn't get a ton of opportunities. You're right. Defensively, you just like his mobility combined with his length. That's a help.
Well, last season, a strong one for the Portland Trail Blazers. Actually came out on top of the Northwest Division.
Yep, snuck all the way up to that third seed with a tight grouping in the Western Conference. And 4 teams in the division made the playoffs last year. 5 were in the race. Certainly was one of the toughest divisions in the league, and the Blazers ended up on top.
Seth Curry, he's checked in for Lillard. Curry kicks to McCullough. And he can't stop this drought. Another miss.
And they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Turner finds Nurkic. Back to Turner.
He was wide open. He was wide open.
And Henson pulls it down. Henson's got his 4th rebound in this one.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole, because he is just not there offensively.
Cullen passes to Nurkic. Up top, Curry. And Aminu kicks to Turner. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
Well, you go in there weak like that, and a guy like Giannis with his length is going to throw it away.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over.
When you think about a coach looking into the eyes of one of his players and telling him to match up with Giannis Antetokounmpo and all the things that he brings.
A little over a minute of the 4th quarter gone right now. Cullen passes to Lillard. Back to McCollum. Back to Lillard. 6 to shoot. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. And that's 11 points for Lillard. Antetokounmpo covers so much ground, Brett. He can almost go the entire length of the court in 2 dribbles.
Well, once he gets around towards the rim, his reach can make it seem like defenders aren't even there. Not just one defender, but multiple defenders. So it's unfair already, and you add that athleticism to what he can do. Wow, unstoppable offensive force.
A-Train is out there with Tyler Zeller. Then it's Matthew Dellavedova. Then there's Tony Snell. And it's Muhammad in at the 2-guard spot. That's the 5 on the floor for the Bucks. It's good. 16 points for C.J. McCollum.
Well, McCollum right now relentless on the offensive end. It doesn't matter how much he's scoring. He'll take a little more.
Antetokounmpo looking over the floor. Back to Muhammad. There's the pass to A-Train.
The hell was that?
Outside Turner. Kicks it to Lillard. Adam Silver has said there's probably more basketball being watched and played, Brent, in China than anywhere else in the world. How long before you think we see our next Chinese superstar in this league?
It's going to be interesting when that does happen. Obviously, the type of mark that Yao Ming made in the NBA, it's going to be hard for anybody to match the kind of impact, not just in the game, but what he did globally for the NBA. It just won't happen again. But I'm looking forward to, heck, not just the next Chinese player, but a Japanese player, somebody from India where they love the NBA game, to start to find their way onto rosters in the league.
They're coming. And there's going to be someone before long.
No doubt. Yeah, that's pretty much a perfect pass, and that's also alliteration.
Portland's gone 2 of 3 in the 4th quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Stolen by Middleton. And now, here comes Antetokounmpo leading the break.
Middleton's got such a great wingspan. That comes into play on steals just like that one.
The Trailblazers have gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the 4th quarter. Nurkic kicks to McCullough. Back to Nurkic. Outside Turner. 4 on the shot clock. From deep. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers. Here's Milwaukee now. They're on a 20-5 run here. Got that bucket in no time at all. Antetokounmpo's got 25 points.
And that monster lead continues to grow. They are just piling it on now.
Now that's the attack mindset with which they entered the game with, and I wouldn't expect them to let up now.
Turner against Antetokounmpo. And it's Turner off the drive. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers. Milwaukee's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Pass to A-Train. Rebound by the Trailblazers. Aminu's got 5 rebounds tonight. Muhammad against Lillard. The top of the key jumper is on the mark. Lillard's got 10 points here in the second half.
Not a stellar first half, but he's become an absolute machine scoring the ball in the second.
Muhammad, the pass to A-Train. Brent was seeing the hack-a-shack targets improve their free throw shooting. Rules changes might curb the strategy, though, going forward.
Well, it's been nice to see that NBA players have worked on a weakness of theirs, free throw shooting in particular, to be better and be somebody who can stay on the floor to impact your team's winning. We saw that last year, Andre Drummond being a prime example. The other thing, Kevin, that we've seen too is coaches having to implement strategies, not just to do the hacking, but in terms of their substitutions and who's on the floor. So interesting thought processes from both ends, but mostly go shoot some free throws, guys.
Yeah,
practice.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Yeah, no question. It looks like they've rented out room along the perimeter in this ball game, and they're likely to keep doing this until the defense makes an adjustment.
Back to Dellavedova. Passes it to A-Train. The shot by Muhammad. Nobody around. And too long on the shot.
No doubt disappointed with that one. He'd love to have that one back.
Yeah, I'd put that play on repeat. The setup was perfect. Just need a better result next time.
The Blazers known for their explosive offense, but Brent, their defense became one of the stronger in the league.
Yeah, I think that's what propelled them to the 3rd seed, top 5 last season in a lot of defensive metrics. Great rebounders and a good job of challenging shots. They play in a bit of a drop position where they're always protecting the paint and not overextending themselves. It's been successful for the coaching staff.
Count it, good. Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. They're down by 22. There's 1:54 left in the fourth. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Hey, guys, no doubt who our pick was going to be. He's made everyone else on the court look like they're playing at half speed. It's been total domination, and you can't help but just sit back and admire that performance.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. So no problem for Milwaukee as they get the win. They poured it out tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do.
Just be lit. Speaking of constant updates,
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, it'll be the New York Knicks going up against the Thunder in Oklahoma City. And for Oklahoma City, they find themselves with a comparable win percentage to this time last year, but looking to make a push as this season continues. And we get
from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 2K Sports proudly brings you the Thunder at the peak at the Chesapeake Energy Arena. With Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. And joining us on the sidelines, look for New York. Dave Trainee's checked in for Kansas. Lee comes in for Hardaway. And Trey Burke subbed in for Ntilikina. Oklahoma City shooting their fourth shot at the foul line here. And New York, looking at who they got, knocks out there with A-Train. Then it's Lee. Then there's Trey Burke. And it's Vonleh in at the center. It's no longer a surprise. A couple rookies, Doris, who we thought would take some time to develop, are already contributing.
It's no question about it. And more rookies are being asked to play a larger role in their particular teams. And I think what you have to be struck by is the fact that we're not talking about 21 and 22-year-old rookies anymore, Kevin. We're talking about guys that have very limited collegiate experience, and yet everyone wants an immediate return. And I think it's nothing more than a sign of the times. Guys are dreaming about the NBA from the time they first pick up a ball, and what we get is the result of that.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Felton's checked in. And the Knicks making a change here as well. As Anya's checked in. Here's A-Train. He gets it in there.
And this, the debut for AI and his new team. Even though he is a very talented player, there's always a bit of nerves when you join a new team midway through the season.
And I'm sure the past few days have just been a whirlwind, Greg, for AI. But I know that he's going to put everything out of his head and just focus on starting things off right. With the teardrop over in the corner, Lee. Now here's Burke. He's guarded closely. Clock at 4. Lee outside. Fires the 3. The Thunder pull it in. This is their first look at this year's New York squad.
And it was a matchup you thought they would have cruised through, but they actually dropped the game in this series last year.
And there's the call on A-Train. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
Boy, certain guys, just a rough season, right? For Nerlens Noel last year, that was the case. Couldn't get any consistent playing time. And after looking to be finally on the rise, he takes a step back in his development. It's got to be tough.
Alex Abrinas is checked in for Oklahoma City. Dennis Schroeder comes in for Russell Westbrook. It's stolen by Schroeder.
You know that fucking dribbling, dude.
There's Abrinas. And let's take a minute now to give a tip of the cap to the top rookie defenders in the NBA this season. We take a look at the A-Train, 5th in the NBA. Very crafty player.
How about the anticipation and really his aggressive mindset defensively? He's always pressuring, always looking for an opportunity to force a turnover. You just have to be more disciplined. I mean, too many fouls and free throw attempts for the opponent. Man, they are just living at the line.
Burke gets to lead. Goes to the reverse layup and puts it in. He's got his first points of the night. And with Noel, it's hard as he turned down a big money long-term deal.
It's always a chance you take, right, if you bet on yourself. And the skill set there for Nerlens Noel, this guy is definitely a great defender. He's just seeking the right opportunity.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
Yeah, just hitting the reset button, a chance to kind of talk some things over.
I think sometimes that's all it takes, right? We'll see if it helps them moving forward in this one.
Emmanuel Mudiay is checked in for Burke. And for a look at how the competition stacks up right now. These, the new power rankings, they tell a great story. You look at Indiana. They're moving on up. 4th spot in the rankings this time around.
And you know what, the Knicks, they're moving in the wrong direction. The good news, though, it's still early in the season. A lot of games left to be played. Plenty of time to turn things around.
Clock at 6. New York moving the ball around. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Now with this break, let's check out just how the rebounding has been divided up in this game between the front and backcourt for Oklahoma City.
I'll tell you what, their guards have certainly pulled their weight on the glass. Helping the big secure it is something that coaches harp on all the time. Team rebounding has certainly been one of the positives here tonight.
Paul George is checked in for Nerlens Noel. And a switch here also for New York. On Baker, he's checked in for Courtney Lee. Felton gets to Adams. Back to Felton. Uncovered. Knicks with the rebound. Last game matched up with the Magic. A tough loss there.
Yeah, they gave up in that one. The defense constantly breaking down way too many times.
I think that has to be formation, all 5 guys tied together, and what happened to them is what happens when you play lackluster defense.
All free throws good from A-Train.
Boy, when you look at the New York Knicks and their recent draft history, they didn't have a first rounder in 2012, 2014, and 2016. They're obviously feeling the effects of that now, Kev.
A nice shot by George.
They are just killing him on the interior.
Here's A-Train, defended by George.
That's great use of size and length. Tough down low when guys are battling for that board.
Schroeder surveying the floor. Shoots the three.
Why you switching, dude?
It's rebounded by Bond.
Boy, all sorts of space around him. If he can't hit those, the defense not going to worry too much about him.
The Thunder went into free agency with a lot of question marks, but ended having a big summer.
Able to retain Paul George, and that was the first and largest key. Getting a player like Noel for cheap was also a big help for this group. The Thunder were at a fork in the road last season, but this team now is dangerous as ever.
Diallo, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Ennis Cantor's checked in for New York. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Diallo. Takes it out to Schroeder. Adams trying to free himself up. And it's Schroeder missing. Here's A-Train. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's Oklahoma City. We have all seen the incredible dunk. Here's what AI had to say about his dunk.
You know, the funny thing about that is...
Yeah, I can only imagine the amount of texts and calls that flooded AI's phone after that dunk. My goodness.
And what's interesting, though, is that he didn't even realize what he had done. Sometimes you just get caught up in the moment of a play, and it isn't until after that you see the degree of difficulty of what you just pulled off.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen so far from the Thunder, guys.
I love the fact that they're getting so many of their points at the rim. Just a solid first quarter.
Well, they're playing bully basketball on the block. Every opportunity they've wanted at the rack, they've got it.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. Setting the floor for the Knicks. They've got Ennis Cantor, Hazonia out there with A-Train. Then it's Moutier, and it's Baker in at the 2 spot. And we're starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. Schroeder kicks to George. It's rebounded by New York. There's Baker. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. A-Train, the pass to Hazonia. Now here's Moutier. He's guarded by Schroeder. Here's A-Train. Here's Cantor. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
I love that Cantor will pursue rebounds out of his area. This guy's such a powerful player who's willing to exert his will.
Fades back. A nice shot by George. And the Thunder lead by 7.
Well, what a terrific option he is for them. Really puts a ton of stress on an opponent.
Moutier finds Hazonia. Here's Cantor, defended by George. The shot's good from Cantor. Well, he was fired by the Grizzlies 19 games into last season, Doris, but Coach David Fisdale with a fresh start now with the Knicks in New York.
Well, you think about in Memphis, he tried to shift from the grit and grind to a more modern NBA style, and I think he encountered some resistance there. With the Knicks, more of a clean slate, a chance to build the culture from the ground up.
Here's A-Train, defended by George. They get it back.
How do you take that up, man?
Now here's Moutier. No points in the game yet for him. And it's Paul George with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Okay, now you've got to dial down the...
Clock runs out, and halftime.
Thanks.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be complete. Randy's checked in for the Knicks. Left side, Westbrook. Unloads from 13. That one doesn't drop.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Westbrook and Robertson, the backcourt. Steven Adams is out there with Paul George. And it's Noel in at the center, filling out the middle. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. 6 on the shot clock. Cantor, the pass to A-Train. Shot from the low block. The shot, no good. Excellent D there from George. Oklahoma City leading by 14. Here's the three. It's rebounded by New York. Cantor's got his 5th rebound in this one. The 9-foot shot. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. And that's 10 points for A-Train. And it's Westbrook with the ball. He brings it up for Oklahoma City. Following this game, they hit the road to challenge the Suns in Phoenix. It's game 1 of a 3-game road trip. Noel dishes to Westbrook. And that one, good. Westbrook's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Boy, you can see the athleticism. Russell Westbrook, hard to stop when he's inside that close.
Here's Ntilikina. He's covered by Westbrook. Cantor against George. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. Here's what Oklahoma City's schedule is looking like. On Saturday, they'll go up against Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns. And then on Monday, they continue the road trip, heading out to Sacramento to take on the Kings.
And you know, for that Hornets matchup, this is one where it would take a complete meltdown for them not to come away with a win. Anything can happen, but I'd be shocked if they don't come out on top.
And plays like that demonstrate Paul George's athletic ability. He's not just an elite scorer, he is a high flyer.
And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play. Sponsored by Under Armour Hover Hat.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
And Russell Westbrook, he is a standard bearer for the Jordan brand with his own signature shoe, Greg. Few players have ever been as competitive as Michael Jordan, but you think Westbrook may be in that conversation?
No doubt about it. The similarities don't end there. The surreal athleticism, the will to dominate, and that fire, finding grudges to motivate them to their highest level. I think there's a kinship in how MJ and Russ approach the game.
He has a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, it is the era of positionless basketball, but how exactly did we get here? Well, new defensive rules at the turn of the century encouraged face-up scoring, motion-based offense, and guard play over isolation and post-ups. As a result, offensive rules have become more interchangeable.
It has become a positionless game now. David, thank you very much. Here's Moutier. It's stolen by Adams. Here's George. The Knicks pull it in. Knox has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's A-Train. 10 points for him. And the call will be against Alex Abrinas. That is his first foul of the game. Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. And New York with a change here, too. Courtney Lee, he's checked in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. Doris, look in your crystal ball. 5 years from now, who do you think will be the 2-3 best players in the NBA?
Well, certainly some of the names. I won't say this is a definitive list, but as long as health holds, I'm going to give you 3 men who are going to be bad men in the NBA for a long time. Giannis Antetokounmpo, because the Greek Freak is able at his size to handle it, take it off the window, and dominate action in transition. If he gets a consistent jump shot, forget about it. Ben Simmons, exactly the same thing. His passing ability is extraordinary. I think you'll see him get a low post game, and I think he'll get a jump shot, and he will be unguardable. And one of my absolute favorites is Mr. Joel Embiid. Give it to you inside, give it to you outside. Mr. Embiid can handle it. He can dominate with his defense. Those three men are going to be all-stars for a long, long time.
Gets it down to single digits. Knox has got 17 now.
And his stroke has been dead on from the outside. I mean, inside, outside, it just doesn't matter.
Nobody near George. Hits the jumper in space. 14 points for him.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Lee passes to A-Train. He kicks to Moutier. Shot clock at 6. A three-pointer off the mark.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat. And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Yeah, tough for them to bounce back when he's shooting like this. He's been off all period.
Felton. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
You know, Raymond Felton comes out of North Carolina. He's the 5th overall pick back in 2005. It's incredible to me that this is his 14th season. The first 9 he started, I don't know that people realize that.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Noah Vonleh, he's checked in for Knox. And Trey Burke subbed in for Emmanuel Moutier. Here's A-Train, defended by George. Here's Lee, and oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Steven Adams picks one up. Doris, talk about what's kept Felton around this long.
You know what, Kevin? For every organization that Raymond Felton has ever played on, the head coach loves him. And why is that? Well, one, he understands how to run a team from the point guard position. He's a low-mistake player that takes great care of the basketball. He's willing to mentor younger players. I would sort of liken him to that game manager quarterback, somebody who you know what you're going to get on a night-by-night basis. And there is huge value to NBA head coaches when you get that.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Outside George. And 101 left in the third. And George at the stop.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. Lee kicks to Vonleh.
Take him, dude.
And that one drops for him. Vonleh's got 7 points.
And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
It's George on the wing. They get it back. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
I'll tell you, Steven Adams is a load on the clock. That screen makes him an impossible check.
Diallo, he's checked in for Raymond Felton. And New York with a change here, too. Baker's checked in.
Well, you think to Steven Adams, and coming out of New Zealand, playing about 1 year at the University of Pittsburgh, now in his 5th season as a starter for the Thunder. And what a pivotal guy he's become for this franchise.
Here's A-Train. Adams defending, and plenty of contact on the shot. So, 2 free throws coming up.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
The Knicks have shot 9 of 11 at the free throw line.
Free throw.
And the Thunder making a change here. And that trip coming up empty, missing both. And pushing it up here. Here is Oklahoma City. George with the bucket. George has got 8 points here in this quarter.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
I'll tell you, you got to admire the energy. This guy really wants to put this one away. Ouch, that's a waste of possession. Got to shake it off and forget it happened, guys.
And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder. 13 points up at the end of the period. They've had such great ball movement and shots. Now let's hear what head coach Billy Donovan was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
We've done a great job moving the ball. Let's keep the ball moving.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. On the court for the Knicks, they've got A-Train, Baker out there with Burke, then it's Lee, and it's Vonleh in at the center position. Here's Abrinas. True on the 14-footer. Abrinas has got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Thunder. Knicks trail by 15. Pass to A-Train. To the paint, and stolen by Noel. Here's George, and George with the stop.
Make no mistake, Nerlens Noel has the kind of length to make that kind of defensive play.
New York calls timeout. Doris, statistically, today's game is picked apart by so many different ways. But for you, what are the statistical areas that you are most interested in?
Well, I think one of the things, when you think about the Oklahoma City Thunder, you have to start and end the conversation with the historic regular seasons put on by Russell Westbrook. The one thing you have to wonder, has he taken them as far as he can?
And if you're building a team around Westbrook on paper, Doris, how do you do it?
Well, he's a player, obviously, who needs the basketball in his hands. And if you look at a team like the Rockets, where James Harden is complemented by shooters and the rim runner, you wonder if that's the blueprint for somebody like Russell Westbrook.
Here's A-Train. He's covered by Felton. The shot's good for A-Train. We've got 1:13 left in the fourth quarter. The Thunder leading by 12.
And clearly, we will not be witnessing a spirited comeback tonight, albeit as exciting as that would be. This was an excellent all-around performance for the Thunder.
Great, generous ball movement tonight. A thing of beauty.
Yeah, a remarkable team effort. They got everyone involved.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Russell Westbrook.
Boy, his assist total, to me, is the most telling stat. This guy created, he made sharp passes, and the defense was always reacting to him.
5 on the clock. Here's Robertson, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It goes on Noah Vonleh.
Well, an elite perimeter defender, Andre Robertson uses that impressive length to bother players. What a solid role player this guy has become.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Diallo comes in for Adams. That's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. So New York going with almost an entire new group. Robinson's checked in for Enes Kanter. Noah comes in for Noah Vonleh. Ron Baker, he's checked in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Emmanuel Mudiay checked in for Ntilikina.
And with the time remaining, I'm just not seeing it.
No, nor am I, Greg. There's no question. They're too far behind. Not their best effort, for sure.
11 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And now they decide to foul intentionally. Good on the first, and that increases their lead to 6.
Listen, Ray Felton is a very dependable point guard. Fantastic floor general who just takes good shots and makes outstanding reads.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 7. 9 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
And just trying to salvage anything at this point, even if it's just some momentum heading into the next one.
No, I think you're exactly right, Greg. You've got to take any positive you can get. You'd like to see them come together and build something, even if it's in a loss.
Seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one.
That was nice, guys. The determination, the toughness, not going to shy away from the boards.
So it's Oklahoma City picking up the win.